were meant to leave the country.
Okay.
And so the people they trained were meant to train others. And this worked to the extent that over the next cycle of 5 years, America was now asking Koreans to come and help them in IT.
Professor, let me come in here. You are a rector and you've been in the business for a long time. Your first degree, I mean, your university, did you school in Nigeria?
I schooled at Yaba College of Technology the first 2 years.
I'm coming. Did you school in Nigeria?
Well, combined, yes, Nigeria as well as abroad.
Your first degree was in Nigeria. Yeah, so it's actually not all that bad. We used to have a good system.
Absolutely. Yes. I say this all the time.
What went wrong?
I'm a good example of, how, because my father was in the part of the First Republic. And he had the education portfolio for a time. And it was about his time that the thinking for the free primary education idea came up, and the action group did it. But do you know that I started at Ibadan City Council School. It's a public school. And I finished at Ondo, a local authority school too. And the school is still there today. They have maybe their buildings have gone from like maybe 2 to 4. And from there, I went to St. Louis. From there, Yaba College of Technology, before I traveled overseas. And when I got overseas, people would ask me, where did you learn to do the things you do, speak English better than we do?
Right.
And I'm like, fresh from Nigeria.
Thank you. And that brings me to the question. Yeah, because I then realized that we get to have a first degree in Nigeria, that obviously something went wrong. That's why you couldn't go back to have your PhD or your master's, and you had to go out.
Well, I went out because I wanted to.
Okay.
But, when we started promoting students, whether they passed or failed, that was where we started. Before you would repeat until you get it.
Okay. Final word, Dr. Arieta Onwebuse, what do you propose we do that will take us to the level we need to get to?
Change the orientation. The curriculum has to begin to address the need for job creators more significantly. Retrain teachers, change the orientation, or probably bring in better trained teachers, because it's difficult, as they say, to teach an old dog new tricks in some cases. But there has to be policies in place that make it compulsory for schools to really think about changing the curriculum such that they meet the goal of producing job creators. And you should be able to state how many job creators they've been able to produce and how successful these people have been, to be able to really check to see that they have...
Putting targets in place and gathering the statistics.
Absolutely.
Mr. Wolo, what's your final word?
I would totally concur with her. Apart from getting quality education in place, we need to refocus. She also said it about the curriculum. The curriculum is too much geared towards producing those who can talk and think. We need to re-emphasize those who can make things, those who can do things, who can make things happen. The engineers, the Greek scientists, the Greek farmers, the Greek researchers, the artisans. Those are the people that move a nation. I keyed into what you said about the Korea thing. I'm very familiar with the Korean model, because that's what they did. They emphasized the technical education side of it, not just the history teachers, English language teachers, and all that. So we need them, yes, but they advise, they guide, they help, they support, they assist. What they cannot do, we need those who can do.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Even the history teachers, I understand some schools are no longer teaching history, which is a terrible thing. But final word.
I'll say a complete overhaul of the system, right from primary, because whatever you get from primary is transferred to secondary to the university. So we've got to fix the foundation. So I would say low-hanging tree, let's start from creche. I think some states are doing it. Let's do creche, primary, focus on it. Make primary education truly free, truly qualitative. And it will go back to where you have a primary school education, you could still make some life, then you go to secondary, you're okay, and then if you go to university, you're king. It's not that way anymore, so we need to go back to the beginning.
Go back to the basic. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This conversation, obviously, we cannot exhaust it in one episode. Thank you so much for joining us. We're speaking with Professor Abiola Awoshika. She's the rector of Lawaye Awoshika School of Innovative Studies. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
And also I have been speaking with Mr. Dele Owolowo, an educationist. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. And also Dr. Henrietta Onwebuze. She's a lecturer, Lagos Business School. Thank you so much. Well, we will be back for another discussion.
So join us again.